Jaguars.com coverage of the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis underway. JP Shadrick, and we'll just start with the best. Why not? Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network, lead draft analyst. Great to see you, and here we are again. This Combine thing just continues to grow.
Can we just talk about one thing?
What's that?
It's the best gear in the NFL right here. Look at this thing. That is the nicest pullover that I've ever seen. That is strong.
I appreciate that.
Because that says we're going to go out to a nice dinner. You can pull it out. Hey, we're going to go play 18 today. Done.
It's flexible.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
It's very versatile.
We're looking for versatile players this week. We're starting with one right there.
I don't know about that. Yeah. How many combines is this for you? You were scout for, 3 different teams?
So my first combine, before I even got hired as a scout, I interned for a year. So my first combine was 2002.
It's been a minute.
Getting old, man.
Yeah, we all are.
My job, my first combine job was to save. I was with the Ravens. I'd come in and I'd save seats for the weigh-ins. That's fun. And then I had to stock the interview room with snacks.
Important.
You don't realize how important those jobs are. There's a lot of pressure on you right there.
Seats and snacks.
Seats and snacks, man.
That works.
The Miami Dolphins, by the way, I don't know what. I think they slept there because they beat me to the weigh-ins I got up 15 minutes earlier every day and they were still in there. If there was a Super Bowl for saving seats, the Dolphins would be the Patriots.
But where are those guys today? Did they take the same trajectory as you did?
That's a great question. They're probably all GMs around the league.
They might be with that kind of work ethic. All right, Jaguars collapsed. Lost 5 of the last 6 after an 8-3 start. It's not really funny, but it is interesting how different 9-8 feels this year as opposed to the season before, right? And what a difference a year can make. 30,000-foot view of where the Jaguars are after that collapse.
Just frustrating, just frustrating. And I think, look, the obvious thing is your quarterback's not healthy, So when you have Trevor, not healthy and kind of gutting it out and his plays slipped off a little bit. So I think that's kind of the obvious one there. But then again, you look at other places on the roster, and there's still work to be done.
Yeah, and to your point about Trevor Lawrence, 4 different times on the injury report this year.
Yeah.
3 years into this thing now, going into year 4. He's still the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still the guy for the long term, but you got to have some help to keep him upright at some point.
Especially on the interior. I think to me, if they can beef up the interior of that offensive line and ease some of the interior pressure, he's so athletic and get beat off the edge a little bit, he can navigate around that. But I just felt like they did not have a lot of firm pockets for him this year. And you get the injuries, and then I think you also get into some bad habits there, and even some odd game management stuff with him and down in the red zone and end of half that's not him. So I'm confident that stuff's going to get corrected, but they do need to upgrade up front along that offensive line.
Is this draft where you can do that in the interior?
I think so. I think where they're picking at 17, they have their pick of the litter if they want to do it in the first round. But you can come back in the second round where they pick 48 here in 2. So no, I think it's a good group. Better than what you've been playing with. So there's upgrades out there, and I think that to me is where you get the most bang for your buck. If this team's going to kind of get back to being who we thought they were, I think adding another rusher on defense, and then to me firming up the interior of the offensive line will be the 2 places I'd start.
Daniel Jeremiah with us, and on the defensive side, they were good early in the season against the run and took the ball away. Well, in the back half of the season, they couldn't stop the run at all.
Yeah.
And that starts kind of in the middle of that defensive line. They've got a lot of money in players that have to be back up front in the interior. Roy Robertson-Harris and Devon Hamilton was banged up all year, and Foley Fatukasi, right? He was injured a lot, but that's where it has to begin with those guys up front.
Yeah, you got to earn your opportunity to rush the passer, So they've got to figure out on the Josh Allen stuff, I'm sure. Have they announced yet they're tagging him? Surely they're tagging him, right?
Well, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Whether he's signed or tagged and signed, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We'll hear from Trent Baalke later today. I guess.
That's my thoughts there as well. But yeah, you have to earn the opportunity to rush the passer. You got to be able to stop the run to get those opportunities. But I still think they need another rusher on the other side as well. I love what Walker's done and the growth that he's taken there. But if you look at every team in the league, you better have 3. And the good thing about him is that he has the versatility to kick in if you want to and put another one next to him. I see it. Look, the Chargers thing hadn't gone the way they wanted it to go the last few years. But when you have 3 guys like they had, Tui Pelotu, Bosa, and Mack, and a few times they were actually all healthy, man, the ability to maneuver around those guys and create the one-on-one matchups that you want. To me, I'd love to have another one if I was Jacksonville.
Big changes for the Jaguars on the defensive coaching staff. New defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen is in. The defensive staff was announced last week. So where are you on Nielsen? What do you know about his past?
Go back to him with USC, like he was all the way back to those days, and he's been a name you've heard about. New Orleans, obviously there for a long time. But, he's got a good rep and a good rep of working guys up front. So I'm always curious when you see, kind of the background of these coaches and kind of their philosophy and what they believe in. He believes in being aggressive up front, playing up the field and getting after it. So that's about the extent of my knowledge there, other than the fact that he's very well thought of and very well regarded.
But it takes strong cornerback play as well.
Well, they get up in your face to do that too on the outside, and they had dudes to do that. So, that's another. Again, we can kind of go through the roster. Another area they
can go down the list.
Yeah,
right?
I can go get one of those as well. So, the interesting thing is, when you look at the landscape of the division, it's when we were here last year at this time, you're sitting here going, man, you're in the catbird seat.
That's unbelievable.
You've got the quarterback. Yeah. Everybody else in the division is just rolling out these young kids. It's going to take forever for those guys to get up to speed. And then all of a sudden, 1 year later, we're like, holy crap, you got to get somebody that can rush C.J. Stroud. You got to get somebody that can cover these guys on the outside. Like, that happened quick.
Really quick. Will Anderson's down there, too.
Yeah.
You got to block that guy.
Yeah.
Wow, how fast it happens. Daniel Jeremiah with us. Overall, in the NFL draft, give us the deepest position group.
Yeah.
Give us a couple groups that might fly under the radar, some guys that could stand out this week.
Yeah, to me, the receiver group, we could say this every year, is loaded. I have 12 in my top 50, which I posted the other day that the record is 11 receivers going in the top 50. That happened twice. One of those years was 1994, and the 11th receiver was Bucky Brooks. How about that? That's a little nugget for you.
Wow.
So I think there's a chance that could go down this year. I think we could see that many receivers. It is stacked. Wide receivers deep, tackles deep, offensive tackles deep. Corner has a good amount of depth there. If you're looking at positions that are shallow, I think there's a chance we don't have a running back going in the top 50. There's a good 6 to 8 of them I think you'll see, maybe late 2 and then into the third round you'll see a run there. Tight ends is not great. You have Bowers, and he's probably the only one that'll go in the top 50, and it's just so there. So off the ball linebacker, not great. So it's an interesting kind of hero or zero draft this year.
It is amazing how fast, not really fast, but a generation ago, running back was where it was at.
Yeah.
And now you got first-round guys. Saquon Barkley's not getting a tag.
None of those guys are.
None of them.
Yeah.
And then who wants to be a running back anymore? As a kid coming up, I don't know. This is what you get.
Yeah, I give advice to people on the running back thing. Hey, can you play linebacker? and then the other one I get kids, a lot of high school kids that play receiver and corner. And I go, let me just tell you, buddy, when we go to the draft every year, at the receiver column, we're having to peel guys off. We can't fit them on the board. We have to print smaller cards. I say with DBs, we eventually go back over to that receiver line and say, do you think any of these guys we could put at corner? Because we don't have enough of them there. I said, go play corner. Just backpedal, okay? Go tell your mom and dad you're going to go to the park and backpedal for the rest of the day. That's what you need to do.
Daniel Jeremiah with us. All right, you've got a busy week ahead. Always appreciate the time. Great to see you, and good luck to you this week.
I appreciate it. I'm a size large.
We'll see what we can get done. NFL Network has live coverage of the 2024 NFL Scouting Combine Thursday through Sunday, starting at 3 o'clock Thursday and Friday, 1 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network.